Hi there, me again. I hadn't actually intended to make another video this quickly, but while I was in bed last night, I was kind of going over and over and over and over and over a lot of stuff from the video that I did yesterday, and it kind of all ties into something that I want to talk about, which is something I like to call um, the dark trinity of the negative mindset, and it's something that I've suffered with all my life. And I'm actually yesterday making that video is a prime example, which I'm going to use. And the dark trinity, so basically what that is rumination plus catastrophization equals self-fulfilling prophecy. So it's three things, and they all kind of feed into each other, and it becomes a negative cycle that just goes on and on and on and on and on and perpetuates forever and ever and ever, and it keeps you depressed, and it keeps you down, and it keeps you feeling like shit. So I just want to talk about those three things in relation to the video that I did yesterday, just as an example. It doesn't have to be, it could be about a lot of things. But for me, last night I was lying in bed and I was thinking a lot about the video that I did yesterday, and the negative thoughts were coming in, and the rumination started. So rumination is basically a negative thought that you just fixate on. It just goes on around your head. And for me, last night it was, it was thinking to myself, why did I make that video? Do people really care? Do people want to watch me do videos like that? People are going to think you're stupid. People are going to think you're an idiot. People aren't going to want to watch that. So it was all the negative kind of, why did I do that? Why did I put myself out there? Why did I force that on people on Facebook and on YouTube and Twitter? And nobody wants to listen to me whinging on about my life and my depression and things like that. So that was my rumination cycle last night. Rumination then leads into catastrophization, and catastrophization is basically you think of the worst case scenario, the result of what that rumination would lead to. So in the case of that video, I immediately went to the idea that my friends are going to hate me. My friends aren't going to want to know me anymore. My family's going to turn their backs on me. My wife's going to think I'm an idiot. She's not going to want to know me anymore. I'm going to end up alone. I'm going to end up sad. I'm going to end up, not even cats are going to want to know me, because cats are arrogant pricks anyway who don't want to know anyone. I immediately, my thought process was, I was stupid for making the video. The video is going to make people hate me and not want to know me anymore. And all of that eventually leads to the third part, which is the self-fulfilling prophecy. So because you're thinking all those negative things, what happens is you cut yourself off. So you say to yourself, people don't want to hear this. I'm not going to tell them anymore. So I'm going to pull back. I'm going to internalize everything. I'm not going to reach out. I'm not going to ask for help, because I don't think people want to help me. I don't think people need to help me. And because you're not reaching out, and because you're not making a point of needing help, obviously people, they're not mind readers. They're not going to know that you need the help. So they're not going to reach out as much as they would if you were asking for help. So because they're not reaching out and they're not saying to you, do you need help? Can I help you? What can I do to help you? You immediately think to yourself, bang, I was right all along. The rumination that people don't like me, to the catastrophization where they're not going to want to talk to me anymore, to the fact where they're not talking to me anymore because I've closed myself off completely and I'm not asking for help. So what you've done there is you've started a cycle of negativity, and it's a three-stage cycle. But the good thing is there is a way to stop that from happening. And it's not easy. It can feel like an impossible task, but it can be done. And what you need to do is you need to tackle stage one. You need to get the rumination under control. And the way to do that is, that's where mindfulness comes into play. So mindfulness it's a really good way of kind of looking at what's going on in your mind from a completely non-judgmental way. It's kind of not attaching emotion to the thoughts that are going through your head. It's not thinking this is good or this is bad. This is just a thought. And you're looking at it from kind of like the outside. And the way you tackle the rumination, the negative rumination, the negative thought process is you listen to it. So it's going round and round your head, 3 o'clock in the morning, people hate me, people don't like me, people aren't going to want to know me, people aren't going to want to be my friends. And that's where you've got to step in, you've got to kind of be more mindful, and you've got to say to yourself, is this true? You've got to ask yourself that question. And in a way, you've got to become your own defense attorney as if you're in court. And that's the prosecution, and you've got to be your own defense attorney. So you've got to say to yourself, people aren't going to like me. Is that true? You've got to ask yourself, is this true? Where is the proof? Is there any evidence to suggest that this is true? And like 100% of the time, there is no evidence because it's not true. Because it's something that you've, over the course of your life, you've convinced yourself that it must be true. But once you step back, if you can, and it is hard, it's not easy, I'll admit that. Once you step back and you kind of ask yourself that question, is this true? Is there evidence to back this up? Am I being correct? Am I looking out for my own best interests? You'll start to see that no, there is no truth to this. People do like you. People do want to spend time with you. People, want to support you. They want to be there for you. So that's where the rumination cycle needs to be kind of nipped in the bud. And once you nip that in the bud, everything else just goes. You don't get to the catastrophization phase, and you don't get to the self-fulfilling prophecy phase. The rumination phase kind of feeds everything else. So if you can get that under control, everything else will just sort itself out. And like I say, I'm using the video that I did yesterday as an example for the way that I have gone through this process, from the rumination to the catastrophization to the self-fulfilling prophecy. But it won't get that far because I've nipped it in the bud by looking back and saying, by making that video, are people not going to like me anymore? And is that true? And I know it's not true because I've had messages, I've had lots of support, I've had people approach me and tell me how much they appreciate the video. So the evidence is there that people do want to know and people do want to hear what I'm saying. And the evidence that my negative thought processes are telling me, there is no evidence. It's not there. It doesn't exist. So I feel like I've said so quite a lot, so I'm going to try and stop doing that. Basically the message I want to try and get across today is, if you find yourself in that cycle of negativity, where your thought processes are telling you that you're a bad person, that you're, nobody likes you, or nobody will understand what you're going through, or, there's no point asking for help because nobody can help you, you really, really need to try and be mindful and take a step back from yourself, look at those thoughts almost impartially, and ask yourself, is this true? Is there truth to what I'm telling myself? Is there proof that what I'm telling myself is true? Or is it possible that it's completely opposite? And I think you'll find 9 times out of 10, if not more, the opposite is true. That people do like you, people do want to help you, that you are a good person, that you are worthy of help. But like I say, it is hard. It's tough because the rumination cycle, it doesn't have to be one negative thought. It could be, I've spent nights and nights and nights going over every little thing that has ever happened to me in my life and spun it in such a negative way that it seems almost impossible that it isn't true. You convince yourself that it's not. But if you can manage to just, even for a brief moment, take a step back and ask, is this true? And really think about it and really look into it and think, well, no, it isn't true. That can be an incredible step forward. It really can. It's not going to be the end of depression. It's not going to, be a magical cure. It's something that you need to work at constantly. It's tiring, it's exhausting, it's hard work, but it definitely is worth it, because the more you do that, the easier it will get. It'll still be hard work, but you'll get to the point where it becomes second nature for you to actually start questioning those negative thoughts and saying, is this true? Where's the proof? Is there proof? There is no proof. There go, ergo, it's not true. Um, so yeah, basically that's the message I was trying to get across today. That I went through the whole dark Trinity yesterday after making the video, and I thought I really want to make a video to say that I got to the point now where I feel that I kind of controlled the rumination cycle. So I hope this kind of enlightens people into the process behind some of the negative thoughts and feelings that people have. And if you're going through it yourself, maybe you might get something out of this video. I really hope that you do, and that it helps, because that's all I want to do. I want to try and help other people who are going through similar situations and things like that. I mean, it's tough. It really is tough, but you're not alone, and that is the message I will always try and get across to everybody. Nobody is alone in this world. So yeah, I'm going to leave it there for today. Not sure when I'm going to make another video, but yeah, stay tuned. Thanks very much.